along or who will proceed to follow the law, irrespective of who is involved. So at the end of the day, we need to get people of character and people of principle to be commissioners, and I think that is our greatest safeguard.
The Integrity in Public Life Bill was approved by Parliament last year. The act made way for the establishment of an Integrity Commission in order to ensure integrity in public life, to obtain declaration of the assets, liabilities, income and interests in relation to property of persons in public life. Eugenia Peters, GBN News.
It was a fire and ice experience in New York yesterday. Let's cross live now via telephone to New York and join the Managing Director of TCN, Junior George. Good evening, sir.
Hey, hi, how you doing, guys? And good afternoon to the folks in Grenada and around the world that's tuned in right now to GBN.
Yes, thank you so much for joining us at this time. What situations has the weather caused since we last spoke?
Well, since we last spoke yesterday, we was warning folks about the use of not using their heater if they're not getting any heat in their house, to call 311, which is the accessible number here for New York, for folks that are not getting heat. So what has been happening, the weather has gotten so cold that folks are using alternatives, like their stoves. And what happened just about 2 houses away from me, that a house burned down to the ground. And the problem that happened because of that, because it was so tremendously cold, it took the fire trucks a longer period of time to get water from the hydrant. So the house, which could have been sustained within a one-room proximity, were then burnt because after 20 minutes there was no water. And when the water did started to come from the hydrant, it was icy. So it was a problem, and right after that there was another building that burnt about 2 blocks away from where we are right now, and it was almost due to the same thing. So we've seen a lot of those problems occurring, and we urging people, Grenadians and Caribbean nationals, everyone in fact that lives in New York City, be very careful when they're using alternative ways of heating their homes. It could be very, very dangerous, and as we saw yesterday, and it will continue because this is day 2 of the tremendously cold temperature, it could be detrimental.
Is the weather likely to improve anytime soon?
Yes, well, today it was a little bit, it was warmer than it was yesterday. Yesterday started off with about 4 degrees Fahrenheit, and today started off with about 8 degrees, which is a little bit better. But still cold, still very cold. But now it's about 21 degrees, which is a lot better than how it was yesterday around this time. Tomorrow it's going to be much better. I think it's going to be up in the 30s or 40s. Keeping in mind that the temperature, it freezes at 32 degrees. So after it's above 32 degrees, you will see a lot of the ice melting, and it would be a definite relief for a lot of the people that have been under this tremendously cold temperature over the past couple of days.
And one other question for you, what's the message being expressed to people to protect themselves?
Well, again, we urge everyone to check up on the elderly. If you know someone that is in your neighborhood, in your area, go out there and check up on them, make sure that they're okay. The next thing that we can't stress enough of is to do not use alternative heater like your stove, oven to heat your homes. If you're not getting any heat, or you're not, for any reason, whatever reason it is, you could call 311 in New York, and then you would be assisted immediately in terms of getting heat to your home. So do not use alternative heat. It could spark a fire, and as we saw as of yesterday, it did, and it could have been much more detrimental. And that we can't stress enough. So please, folks, that if you have family in New York, please call them and remind them, do not use their stove or alternative way of heating their homes. If they don't have heat, call 311.
All right, we'll leave it there for the time being. Please be safe. Junior George, he is the Managing Director of TCN, live there via phone from New York. Many thanks. Stay with us. Back in a moment.
Trade-in is back at and it's better.